Welcome to Books Taught Me, where knowledge makes a difference and words inspire minds. In a world that never stops distracting us, focus has become a rare currency, a powerful weapon owned by few. But did you know that the true secret to focus is hidden within your brain? Between two halves, one that analyzes and plans, and another that creates and imagines. And when they unite, the doors of achievement, creativity, and total control over your thoughts swing wide open. In this video, we'll dive into the secrets of the brain and uncover how to balance logic and intuition to reach an unstoppable level of focus. How to improve your focus. Focus is the key to success in any field, but in a world full of distractions, maintaining it becomes a real challenge. Strong focus relies on the collaboration between the two hemispheres of the brain, the right and left hemispheres. Understanding the brain's hemispheres, right and left, and their role in thinking. The human brain is divided into two hemispheres, the right and the left, each with specific functions and skills. However, it is important to note that the brain does not work as two completely separate halves. Rather, they cooperate in all mental processes. Nevertheless, some people tend to use one hemisphere more than the other, which influences their way of thinking. The right hemisphere, the center of creativity and imagination. The right hemisphere is responsible for creativity, intuition, imagination, emotional thinking, and art. It allows us to see the bigger picture, imagine scenarios, and engage with music and the arts. Characteristics of a right brain dominant person: has a vivid imagination and excels in drawing, writing, or music. Learns better through images and stories rather than lists or numbers. Relies more on intuition than logical thinking when making decisions. Prefers free, creative thinking over strictly following rules. Can easily connect ideas and find innovative solutions to problems. Examples of right hemisphere. Functions. Art. When an artist paints a picture, they rely on the right hemisphere to imagine colors, balance, and the emotions conveyed through the artwork. Music. When a guitarist plays a new tune, they use the right hemisphere to sense rhythm and harmony between sounds. Creative writing. When someone writes a fictional story, they depend on the right hemisphere to create characters, events, and build the imaginary world of the story. Deep thinking and reflection. When a person contemplates the meaning of life or imagines their future, they use the right hemisphere. The left hemisphere, the center of logic and analysis. In contrast, the left hemisphere is responsible for logical thinking, analysis, numbers, language, organization, rules, and precision. It helps you solve mathematical problems, write essays, and organize your schedule. Characteristics of a left brain dominant person. Thinks analytically and systematically and likes to plan ahead. Prefers following rules and regulations rather than random thinking. Enjoys working with numbers, data, and statistics. Learns better through lists, charts, and tables. Tends to focus on details rather than the bigger picture. Examples of left hemisphere. Functions. Mathematics. Solving a math problem requires logical thinking and analysis, which activates the left hemisphere. Organization and planning. When someone creates a precise daily schedule and arranges tasks by priority, they rely on the left hemisphere. Learning a new language. Understanding grammar rules, correct spelling, and sentence structure effectively engages the left hemisphere. Programming and computer science. When a software engineer writes logical code to solve a technical problem, They use the left hemisphere to analyze the problem and develop solutions. Chess. When thinking about future moves and calculating possible outcomes, a chess player uses the left hemisphere to make strategic decisions. How do both hemispheres work together? Although each hemisphere has its own functions, effective thinking requires the integration of both hemispheres. Here are some examples of how this collaboration happens. Scientists and inventors. They use the left hemisphere to analyze scientific data, but rely on the right hemisphere to imagine new solutions and unconventional innovations. Academic writing. When writing an essay, the left hemisphere is used to organize ideas and ensure grammatical correctness, while the right hemisphere helps with creativity and crafting engaging sentences. Sports. A basketball player needs the right hemisphere to play instinctively and with feeling, but depends on the left hemisphere to analyze the opponent's moves and make tactical decisions. Acting. An actor uses the right hemisphere to express emotions and be creative, but needs the left hemisphere to memorize scripts and understand dialogues precisely. How to balance the right and left hemispheres. If you feel that you lean more towards analytical thinking or that you are creative but lack organization, you can train your brain to achieve a balance between both hemispheres. To activate the right hemisphere, creative thinking, practice drawing or creative writing, listen to classical music or try playing a musical instrument, read novels or fictional stories to expand your imagination, practice meditation and visualization, such as imagining yourself living on another planet. To activate the left hemisphere, logical thinking, solve puzzles and brain games like Sudoku and chess. Train yourself in quick mental arithmetic. Read books on philosophy or logic to develop analytical thinking. Try learning a new language or studying grammar rules. Remember, your mind is the greatest tool you possess. The more you understand it, train it, and balance it, your focus ignites and everything changes. Don't forget to subscribe to Books Taught Me, because here, knowledge makes all the difference.